Hello everyone, welcome to episode 11 of the weekly CX Catch Up, where we deliver late news with the latest insights.
So Harshini, Japan's Haneda airport involves its passengers and netizens through its flat weighing scales. So passengers don't need to, lift their heavy luggages and sprain their bags anymore. What is that? What can we learn from this?
So, Vinay, I think we should first start by asking the question, why do elevated baggage scales exist in airport in the first place? So, why do we go about, the work of like carrying the baggage, no matter the weight, and placing it on an elevated weighing scale? The first thing is airports are legacy infrastructures. They have been designed and built around decades ago, and any small design change comes with an infrastructural change as well. So, having an elevated baggage scale would mean airports can just plug and play their weighing scales, their sensors, and their pressure systems in place. Now, this change, while it might look like very small, also means that the airport has worked on an infrastructural level. Now, this not just it's inclusive to the elderly, but also to the disabled and also to tired passengers. You just have to roll in your baggage and it does its trick. So when we say design first approach, we should also like look at from the lens of an infrastructure approach as well.
Right. So I think there is another unintended side effect to this change. So there is this one way of using one's feet to prop up the heavy luggage so that it appears lesser in weight on the scale, right? So this kind of fraudulence and excessive baggage is eliminated now, because like there is no, it's just the baggage rolls into the scale and there's no way to do anything of that sort. So the airport has killed two birds in one stone, we might say, right?
I think it goes again to prove that every time a business or like an industry does something that is user first and design thinking, it directly or indirectly always benefits the business.
Absolutely. So in terms of accessibility, what else is happening on the tech front?
So while we had a lot of AI news coming back to back, it's very refreshing to see AI products and updates that is also on inclusivity and accessibilities. And on the same lines, we have Google's DeepMind unveiling their SignGemma. Now, SignGemma is basically a tool that will translate sign language in real time to speakers. So they are right now working on American Sign Language, and down the line in the later part of the year, they've also said multiple sign languages will also be included. So I think in that end, it's very refreshing to see.
Yeah, so to me personally, technology is something that doesn't only make things easier for people, but I think the true success of any technology happens only when it also aids people with disabilities come across their barriers, right? So for instance, we have colorblind glasses from brands like Enchroma and Colorlight, which have made a huge difference in the lives of people. So I think technology reaches its pinnacle only when it helps people overcome their barriers.
100%. I think the conversation does not just stop with inclusion or having them a part of the community. It also means opening up new doors for those communities. It means in terms of education and in terms of employment.
And not just that, even entertainment for that matter. So for example, Mattel, the toy maker, has a goal of making 90% of its games colorblind accessible by the end of 2025. So I was playing a game of Uno, the latest variant, which is called Show Them No Mercy. So I noticed that each color card had a shape associated with it. So for example, blue had square to it and red had a rectangle. So I was wondering what the point of it was. Then I realized that it helps colorblind people also get take part in the fun. So we can see that, and this is not the first time Mattel has done something of this sort. Even in 2019, they partnered with the National Federation for the Blind to create Uno cards featuring Braille. So we have toy makers who are taking accessibility and inclusivity seriously and coming up with features like these. So it's all the more reasons for businesses to take accessibility a lot more seriously. So if you're a business that hasn't started looking into accessibility yet, look at all the different things that you can do, like even starting from ramps for wheelchair users and textured surfaces and braille for visually challenged people. It's something that every business has to take seriously and work on it with earnestness.
I think it just goes to prove the design principle that when you design for accessibility and inclusivity, you basically design for everybody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I think that brings us to the ad of the week. So what do we have, Vinay?
So this is an old ad from 2020. We have now reached the end of the IPL today. We have the finals. So this ad by Unacademy is our pick for the ad of the week. It's a very clever take and it's a very clever execution where they've taken visuals from actual cricket matches and used them to illustrate physics lessons or concepts that relate to mathematics and geometry and so many other things. It also has a catchy jingle and the visuals are absolutely perfect. That concludes this episode. Until next time.